From 3 million Facebook subscribers to £1 million in book revenue. Meet the warmest, most likable Scottish writer who's killing it in indie publishing.
Welcome back to Pen and Prosper, a podcast where JT Lawrence is coaching me, Melissa Delport, to be a six-figure author, and we are putting it on the internet. Happy Friday, the 5th of June, JT.
Thank you, Delport. How are you? Haven't seen you for a week.
Weeks and weeks and weeks. It actually has been
apart from the last 2 hours we've spent together, I haven't seen you in weeks. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm getting through. I'm feeling quite energized after the interview that we just did.
Well, that makes sense because usually we both like, oh,
I know.
like cannot breathe.
Yes. But it's some fun stuff. Before we dive into our interview with the amazing Steve Aitchison, we obviously want to say a big thank you to our paid subscribers, to our editor extraordinaire, Elise, and of course to Vellum, the book formatting software we could not live without.
Thank you, Vellum.
Thank you,
Delport, what is the name of our new paid subscriber?
Our new paid subscriber is Mr. Joe Sackett. Hello, Joe.
Joe.
Joe was really interested in Steve's synthetic audience prompt. He was really, he's super keen to test that. He's also working with Blake. Okay. So he's basically family at this point.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah.
I'm still having success with those synthetic prompts. And I've been like iterating on them to make them like definitely more my brand, my voice. I'm really enjoying it. I must say I'm loving being back in the Facebook ad groove. Hey, like I've always liked it. I haven't always liked it, but like I'm so excited to be back and to like see the attribution data and like see what's working, see what's not working. And you hate it, Sam.
Attribution. No, I really enjoy my Facebook ads, but I'm very fortunate that I do that very like one ad, one approach, because I do not trust attribution data as far as I think it's not worth the paper it's written on. So I'm like, I get it. If I was testing 2 ads and let's see which one looks like it, but I just don't believe that it is in any way, shape or form reliable at all as a metric for me to gauge at this point.
Yes, I mean, you know that I agree with you, but I do think it's a signal, and that's what I need when I'm setting.
Yes.
I'm starting from scratch. My Facebook ads account is gone. I've got all that work, all that social proof, all that gone for every single language, every market, every pen name. Anyway, moving on. It's fine.
I think we're going to discuss that in our next episode, aren't we? Or there'll be 2 episodes from now, our author catch up. So if anyone does want to hear about JT's Facebook woes and apocalypse, then stay tuned. We will be entertained at your expense. Sorry.
No. It's absolutely
it is a reality of our business, and it is good to know that you can come back from it too.
And honestly, like the starting from scratch vibe, it is quite it gives you quite a lot of energy. Like like New Year's Day, and you've got all these plans for the year and whatever, and it does give a certain kind of energy that you don't have halfway through the year. And that's what I'm finding with starting from scratch with Facebook ads. I'm like, the world is my oyster. And this time I'm going to build
and your cash flow is stronger than ever.
Yes, and my ROI is through the freaking roof, which is amazing. That hasn't been the case for a very long time. So feeling very positive and really enjoying Facebook ads and stuff, and layering that on top of Steve's method, which we learned today, I think is going to be even better. Stephen P. Aitchison spent years teaching social media growth to internet entrepreneurs. Then he moved on to teaching how to invest in cryptocurrencies before retiring to pursue his true passion, writing fiction. His debut serial fiction work, The Witches of Scotland, The Dream Dancers, is an 8-book serial, with the second series, The Witches of Scotland Edinburgh Files, sees the same characters fighting the supernatural in Scotland. Stephen grew up in Westerhales, Edinburgh, before moving to Blenheim and then to Fife and settling in Glasgow to study psychology. You can tell that he's got such a great self-development coach vibe happening.
Yes, but he was a very successful that's what he did, right?
He lives with his wife, enjoying time with his 2 sons, their partners, and their 2 grandchildren. His wife's amazing, by the way.
I can imagine him being the nicest grandpa. Like, can you just imagine? He must be the coolest grandpa in the whole world. Like, this cool grandpa who writes books about witches.
He's so cool. But also, whenever he tells me that he has a new grandchild on the way, I'm like, what? Like, have you seen him? He looks our age.
I know. I know. It's crazy.
Like, oh.
There's got to be a secret in the salt.
One other thing to note is that the interview went so well. There was so many great nuggets of information that we did not stop at an hour, and it went to almost 2 hours. So we will split those in half and make it 2 episodes.
Yes, it's a two-parter. Shall we dive in? Let's just dive in.
Hi, Steve. It's so wonderful to have you on the show. I've wanted you as a guest for so long. You've got so much to share. You've got so much valuable information. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Anita and Melissa. Really happy to be here. As I was saying earlier, it's a wee bit surreal being on this because I watch every week. This is brilliant. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I don't know where you'd like to start, Steve. Would you like to tell us about yourself? I obviously know the story, but I'd love you to tell everyone else how you started, the big question you asked your wife that day that had a lot to do with your success later on. And yeah, where would you like to start?
Oh God, there's so many years to go back. I will start when I kind of started writing. I started a blog back in 2006 called Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. It's still going just now. It's one of the biggest personal development blogs going at the time. And I was just writing to that every week, doing kind of blog posts. It's all personal development kind of stuff. So I've been doing that for a while and nothing really was happening. Always had that kind of entrepreneurial spark. And I always wanted to start my own business as well. So I think 2004 as well, just before it, I started a business selling signed first edition books. So I was a book dealer, better than a drug dealer, but a book dealer. I was doing kind of signed first edition books. I was trying to get Harry Potter books and stuff like that. So that was my first business. Had to go back to work, started the blog, and I started writing my first ebook. I was looking at this kind of yesterday and today, and I was kind of gathering up some information. And I wrote my first ebook called How to Become an Advanced Early Riser, because I get by on 5 hours sleep. So I thought I'll teach people that. So I wrote my first book in 2007, and I sold it on a site called eJunkie. You probably won't remember it. I don't know if you remember it. It's way back. And I sold it for $37. That's how much the ebooks were selling for back then. And I made about $10,000 on that one book back then.
Oh my God, where were you when I needed you at that time?
I forgot all about it. And I started writing other books as well. But it was all ebooks, but they're beautifully designed. I got somebody to design them. But 66 pages, $37. That's how much the ebooks are. This was before kind of Kindle and all that came out.
The Kindle rush, yeah.
Yeah, so it came out. I just continued doing the blog and I kind of wrote my first book kind of for Kindle. It was Create Space at the time in 2012 called 100 Ways to Develop Your Mind. I'd done that kind of back then and that made a bit of money as well, but I didn't kind of pursue it. But I always wanted to be a fiction writer. Just didn't think I was good enough. And I had a brilliant idea back in 94 when I started lucid dreaming. And I was practicing lucid dreaming. You become conscious in your dream and you can kind of direct your dream after you become conscious, but you're still sleeping. It's amazing. It is better than drugs as well.
Wow.
So that's where it started. The idea came from.
I see another episode already.
Yeah, exactly. A different type of podcast, I think. But that's where the idea came from for the Witches of Scotland. But before that, I'd given up my full-time job as a drug and alcohol counsellor in 2013 to do something called Guided Mind. It was guided meditations. So I'd done that in 2013 and I'd written and recorded and done videos for 140 guided meditations, which was brilliant. It was really good. It allowed me to be a full-time kind of entrepreneur. But in 2015, I sold that site for, well, they were going to give me £20,000, but I said, give me 8 Bitcoin instead. So I sold the site for 8 Bitcoin in 2015, and Bitcoin was £2,500 at the time. So I sold it back then, and I was doing another business at the time, Facebook, because my Facebook page was exploding. It went up to, at the time, about 500,000 followers, but then I grew to 3 million followers, and people kept on saying, how are you doing it? So I told them how to do it for free. Then there's more and more people coming, so I thought I'll do a course. Done a course, I've done seminars, I've done everything. I've done that for 3 years and kind of done San Diego, and I just done seminars over there. So that was the first kind of big business I had, and I was making loads of money from Facebook because they were just throwing money at you at the time. And then kind of stopped that in 2018, and the 8 Bitcoin that I'd sold the site for, I'd been trading that, and I traded that up to $500,000 at the time. But then, I know we took the money out, it was mental. We took the money out, but then I started teaching crypto. People were saying, how do you do that? So I thought, shit, here we go again. So I started teaching crypto, and I had a big course, and I'd done seminars and stuff like that as well. And then I stopped the crypto I kind of cashed out because I lost a lot of money in the big crash, but then I made it all back and we cashed out and we started buying property after that in 2019, 2020. Started buying property, made a lot of money from that. Thought, right, time to stop and write the books. And I started in 2021, rebranded in 2022 to Witches of Scotland. And now I'm making a lot of money from the Witches of Scotland. That's where I am.
Jeez, what an amazing
I'm just waiting.
story.
I'm just waiting for you to have another moment of distraction and stop writing and take up, I don't know, professional skydiving.
Well, things come up. They're thinking, oh no, it's this
God.
again.
How many? Just quickly, your productivity, like your output, is it quite high? How many books are you releasing like in a year? Or?
I've done 21 books so far since 2022.
Oh wow! Okay, so it's high.
It's high, but the first series was novellas, so we're talking 40,000 words per book.
Okay,
so it's not that high. The second series was about 60, 70,000 words per book, and I'm still writing the second series. That's ongoing. Third series was novellas again, the romance series. And the fourth series is going to be Origin series, going back to 1653 in Scotland. Most of them are novellas. I love writing novellas because it's quick and you get that kind of hit as an author. I finished a book. It's brilliant. There's no better feeling. I thought, I'm just going to continue writing novellas. They're selling well. People, even a reader, when you finish, I don't know what you're like, but when you finish a big, huge 1,000-page book like Brandon Sanderson, 1,000 pages, you finish and you go, wow, that was a kind of tonal book. But if you finish a novella as well, you still get that satisfaction of finishing.
Yes, that dopamine.
It's on your Goodreads list as well as finish the book, exactly. So it's still the same feeling. I thought, I'm just going to continue writing novellas. Why would I do the 3-4
change the formula?
Books? Yeah. So it's working.
And then, but then the series is long. Even though the books are short, the series is long. So your read-through is great then, obviously. Okay.
Read-through is brilliant, yeah.
And how do you find novellas do in Kindle Unlimited?
They do really well, again, because you know you're going to be, it's in a series, so you know you're hopefully going to get the read-through. So all you really need to focus on is from book 1 to book 2. If you can get a good read-through rate from book 1 to book 2, you're kind of golden. And it's that sweet spot. Once you get the sweet spot, and you get 50, 60, 70% read-through rate, then you know it's going to do well, hopefully for the rest of it. And you keep an eye on book 2 to 3 and stuff like that. But the read-through rate for The Witches of Scotland, the first series, I think it's at 55%, which is not amazing, but it still does really well. But the box set, when you bring the box sets out, that's a game changer.
Yes.
Because the box sets just kill it.
Okay.
They're amazing for that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's good to know. So it's quite nice because you get the individual hits of the shorter books.
Yeah.
But then, of course, there's the box set in KU, which will bring in all the reads.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, and I've spoken to a lot of authors, and I don't know why this is, but my paperback sales are really good, and I get 25% of my income from paperbacks.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Which is weird. Which is weird. I've not, because other authors are saying, how the hell are you getting that? But I'm not doing anything different. But
maybe you just have really nice covers.
The covers are nice, I have to say, because I've got a cover designer. He's really good, and I've just stuck with him.
They are beautiful.
They are nice.
But Delport, that reminds me of Rachel, because Rachel's also selling a huge amount of paperbacks lately.
So it says really good covers.
Yeah.
So what else do you think?
Is that the trick?
Is it cozy?
No, it's urban fantasy.
Not cozy. Yeah, just fantasy. But is it okay? So it's not cozy fantasy. Because Rachel's is cozy fantasy, and I wondered if that had something to do with it.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that urban fantasy would have a strong paperback, but apparently there is. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So do your marketing, is it mostly social media? I know your TikTok, because you've got a great TikTok story, and I'm still waiting to hear about the question you asked your wife, definitely. But it's social media like your main source of marketing?
For marketing, so I think a lot of people get mixed up with marketing and advertising, two different things altogether. So marketing is really about you as a brand. We as authors, especially in this day and age of AI, we need to get our face out there. We need to get ourselves out there to say we're real people, and we can respond to comments, and we kind of do videos and stuff like that. And I know a lot of authors don't like it, but I just think it's such a good thing to do for your brand, but because the readers, once your series becomes popular or your books become popular, they want to know the kind of author behind the stories. At least I do, and I know loads of other people do as well. So if you can get your kind of marketing and you're just telling stories about your journey, and you're just kind of talking shit basically about your life. Do you know what I mean? Just shooting the
just showing up and being
just showing up. And doing that. I think TikTok is good for that, but my TikTok page is really for indie authors, just to help them. So first I was just to give back to pay it forward because I was doing so well. And then I thought, well, start an indie author secret newsletter and just charge £5 a month. So that will stop all the kind of freebie seekers, but it'll bring in people that are semi-serious about kind of bringing their author career up. So that's what the TikTok's for. Facebook is different. That's to connect. Everything I think as authors do, it should be about connecting to your readers. This is about community and building a community. And that's where the ads come in as well. The ads can actually build your community for you if you do it the right way. So I think ads are brilliant for building a community.
Yeah, same.
You said if you do it the right way, is there an expansion? I don't think I am. I don't think I am, Steve, if I'm being 100% honest with you. I don't think I've cracked it.
Well,
I'm asking because I'm really I'm trying to build my social media because I lost it about 4 or 5 years ago. My Facebook, I had a meta issue and a glitch. And I kind of was like, I'm never doing it again. I hate Facebook. I'm never doing it again. And then obviously when we started talking about Facebook ads, I had to quickly hustle. But I really want to build particularly Facebook. It is my favorite, my platform of choice.
Yeah.
Sure. And it's just like each little follower is such a victory for me because it takes so long to build it up.
Well, what you can do automatically when you post something and people like it, you can send out kind of a message via Facebook just to say, do you want to follow the page? You could do that automatically as well. You can set it up. I think Blake Hudson spoke about it as well. So you can set that up for people to follow your page and kind of join your group as well. So anybody who follows you can get them to join your group.
Join the group.
To do the work, yeah. So that's a good way to do it. But I think is how you're coming across as well. I've never seen your page, Alyssa, but it's about being you and just because you're very kind of vibrant, you're very kind of vivacious, you're out there and gregarious. And I would imagine that would come across really well on video if you're doing videos and just talking about your journey, even if it's a tiny bit, 1 minute video. Just saying, I've done this, I've achieved this, and I'm really happy about it. Doing stuff like that, putting that out. And then if you do it strategically, which I was going to talk about later, but I might as well talk about just now, and something I spoke about, Janita, in the island, doing something called hook, story, close videos. Basically, there's another part to this as well, but the hook, story, close it's talking about your author journey through stories of your journey. So basically what you're doing, you're hooking them in with a headline. So it's like a kind of an ad almost. You hook them in with a headline. And I'll give you an example. It took me 27 years to write this book. That's a hook, because people are asking, why did it take 27 years to write a book? And then you're going into the story part of it. And you're saying this on camera, but I'll tell you about that after. And the story part of it is 2 parts. The first part is you give the resolution straight away. It took me 27 years to write this book. Now I've written 8 books. That's the resolution. And then you can connect with the reader. This is the second part, the story part. And that's through empathy. So you tell them why it took you 27 years, because I didn't have the confidence. I thought, oh shit, my books were no good. My writing was crap. Everybody's felt a lack of confidence at one point in their life. So immediately there's an empathy connection there. Even in video, there's still an empathy connection. Everybody's felt like that. That's the second part of the story. And you tell that story. And the close part is very nonchalantly. You just say, and my books, you tell them about the book as well. It's about David Hunter, you just discovered he's a witch. And then the second part, the close, is it's up on Amazon. If you want to check out, go and check out. And there's no kind of push there. It's all about pushing and pulling. But again, that's gone into too much. But that's the hook, story, close. Takes literally 30 seconds up to a minute. And if you do videos like that, pull the stories out of you. And it's a brilliant way to pull all the stories, because a lot of people say, oh, I don't really have stories. Go into Claude and get it to be your coach. So you tell it, you go into Claude and say, listen, I've got all these stories about starting as an author. I need you to ask me questions and keep on asking me questions, bring the stories out and let me know after the conversation what 5 to 10 stories that would be good for social media. So you let it be your
brilliant.
And it asks you the question. You just voice notes. You just type in voice, and you don't type in voice, but you kind of voice it. You just speak to Claude, and it asks you all these questions. And it does 2 things. It makes you think about your journey as an author, because we don't think about it often. We don't give ourselves enough credit as authors. And once you do that, you go, I've done quite a lot. I've done quite well from where I started to where I am, and which I would imagine where you are just now, Melissa, you've done brilliantly from where you started with Janita. Janita, where you started, you've done freaking amazing over the years as well, because I've followed you as well for years. So just asking questions like that and getting it out there, and then having it down on paper, you go, oh shit, and then you do videos using it, and that's
I'm
the hook story.
actually quite a big deal.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
It's so clever because all I could think of was, but it didn't take me 27 years to run.
No, but so I'll give you an example. There was a guy, I was telling somebody on TikTok, and he said, I've not got any stories. I said, well, how did you start writing? Why did you start writing? He said, oh, I found a dead body next to a bin in my house. I'm going, fucking hell, that's that. That is that.
You're setting the bar a little bit high.
Yeah.
The bar's a little bit high.
I know, it's just a wee bit high, but I thought,
Oh my
that's a
God.
brilliant hook. So it was great. So he said, I don't have any hooks. I said, you find a dead body next to a bin? So that was brilliant.
I've been thinking about mine. I know I need to do a whole lot of them, but I think mine's going to be that I basically gambled my family's life savings on buying my life back.
Oh,
Like
shit.
I believe in my book so much that I basically spent my
Risked your
family's
house.
entire life savings
Did you?
on buying the rights back. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
I remember that.
can I ask? Sorry, I'm not interviewing you, but I'm just interested. How much did you spend?
So it wasn't just so the rights themselves were $40,000, but apart from that, I knew I needed about $60,000 for the advertising and marketing to get them to where I needed them to be to make the money back. So
Yeah, the 90 days, the dreaded 90.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I needed actually $120,000, which I didn't. And we had just sold our house in South Africa because we'd moved to the UK, and we have to rent here because we don't have a credit record yet. So we had that money sitting, in investments, and I thought maybe I would make more.
JT was like, Mark, I've got a great idea.
That's mental.
Yeah, so
Hands up, hands up. Yeah, hands up if you have R1 million in the bank. Not so fast, Mark. Not so fast.
yeah, so maybe that'll be my video.
I think that's brilliant because I remember telling her not to. I was so worried.
Everyone
Do
told me
you
not to
remember?
do
I
it.
was like, friend, I don't think that's a good idea. And also because I think coming from South Africa, where like things can get really tough here.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Really tough.
I can imagine.
Like unemployment's really high. Like so, risk is not something we're quite risk averse. I think as a nation.
Yeah. But again,
So-
it's not like I just was optimistic and like, oh, I think I'm gonna make it work. Like I had the numbers.
Yes.
I had the numbers. I'm like, this is how much I'm making. This is how much I can scale. And I knew that it would be successful. The numbers don't lie. And if something like catastrophic happened, which is always possible, but the numbers supported me. Two very good accountant friends said to me, it's a no-brainer, buy them back. But
Right.
everyone else in my life said, please don't do that. You will regret it forever. It's like you're being way too reckless. But, and at the end of the day, you have to do what your intuition tells you to do.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what it was screaming at me to do. So
I think there's another thing back in 2021 when I was kind of really thinking about this. I went to my accountant because I'd done all the other businesses, and I went to the accountant and he sat me down and said, basically, you're insolvent. If you don't kind of start to bring the money in, your business is going to go under. And I'd had it for nearly 10 years at the time.
wow.
Because I was coming out of another business, a crypto business, and I wasn't bringing money in. So I thought, shit, what am I going to do? And that's really, the books started taking off then as well, which kept the kind of business afloat.
Oh wow.
Now it's kind of obviously doing well to keep the bloody accountant and afloat now as well. But yeah, that's other stories like that we just don't even think about. But listen, you must have loads of stories, Janita, and you must have loads of stories as well. But the Claude thing is a brilliant way to kind of extrapolate them.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a great way to get them out because you don't know what you don't know. You don't think of it because
Exactly.
it's so the story's so familiar to you. Like, oh boy. So when you started writing, were you successful like off the bat? And what were you doing? Did you just come out firing? Did you really know tips and tricks? Like, were you doing Facebook ads? Were you doing social media? Like, how did it start?
I'd done the social media before and I grew that page to 3 million followers, but Facebook killed it because I'd been using it. I'd been monetizing it so much. And I had made a lot of money, so I wasn't really bothered. 3 million followers. But I've just rebranded it the other day, actually. So I came from that and I thought I'd start the Facebook author page. And I think it was 2021. So I'd done that and I thought I'm going to write this book. I've had this idea for 20 odd years, literally 20 odd years. So I wrote the book and I called it The Dream Dancers, the Akashic Chronicles. But thinking about it now, the Dream Dancers, it just sounds like a female or a male kind of dance group or something. I thought that's not going to hit well at all. So in 2021, that was when I first put the first two books out. In actual fact, that's where my wife's story comes in. So I gave her the book, the first book, and I said, listen, Sharon, I really want to pursue this. I want to be a writer. I planned on doing it when I retired at 65, but I'm doing it like 10, 12 years earlier. So I said, you need to read this and just be totally honest and tell me. And Sharon would be totally honest. She said, tell me. I said, tell me if it's any good, if it's worth continuing. So I printed it all out, the kind of 200 pages and that, gave it to her, and she was just going into the bath at the time. She said, I'll read it in the bath and I'll read it out after. So 3 hours later, I was kind of pacing up and down thinking, oh, she'll think of shit. So 3 hours later, the bath was freezing cold, and I knocked on the door. I said, you okay? I said, you fallen asleep? She goes, no, I've just finished the book. So she'd read it in 3 hours. And I said, what do you think? She said, you need to keep writing. And that was it.
Oh, thank
So
goodness. What would you have said if she said it?
I'd have probably had to say, shit, I need to find a job.
It's the worst thing I've ever read.
How different your life would be.
Just one wee kind of decision could change your life forever, and it has. But could have went the other way as well.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, wow. That's so nice. So then you started publishing. And what were you doing in terms of advertising and marketing when you first started? Like, what was your main?
So in terms of, in 2021, I didn't advertise at all. I made £221 in 2021. Then I rebranded, because in 2021, the crypto stuff started taking off as well. So I'd still had some crypto left, but it grew kind of massively. So I cashed out of that, and I didn't want to get back into it. I just cashed it all out. And then 2022, I rebranded to The Witches of Scotland. And I think this is such an important kind of tip as well, is to really think about the title of your book. Because my books wouldn't have taken off if they were just called The Dream Dancers, The Akashic Chronicles. Does not mean a thing. Doesn't mean anything. But The Witches of Scotland, it tells you it's kind of fantasy or urban fantasy. It tells you where it's set.
Yes.
Then you go into the Akashic Chronicles. If anybody knows where the Akashic records are, they'll kind of recognise it. So the title is so important. And I believe that was one of the things that helped the books start to sell. So they sold on their own, and I was doing boosting on Facebook. I was just boosting the posts. I didn't know what I was doing. Had not a clue what I was doing with Facebook advertising in 2022. So I was just boosting, and it was working. I've done that kind of video in 27 years to write this book, and I was boosting it. I thought, oh shit, this is selling the books. And then I released the audiobook in 2022, the end of 22, and my sales went from £1,000 a month to £3,000 a month within a couple of months.
Oh wow!
And I don't know why. I just
organic, like you didn't
advertise it, didn't do anything.
No.
And it just started kind of selling from there. So the audiobooks are a big major income. And then I took a course by Matthew Holmes.
Yes.
Because every single time I went into Amazon and went into the category for metaphysical fiction, there was a woman called Laurie Holmes.
Yes.
4 or 5 books were up there at the very top. I'm going, shit, how should I get into the top all the time? I thought, right, I'm going to have to learn Facebook advertising. So I started looking, and I found this course called Facebook Ads for Authors by this guy, Matthew. And then I seen he was the actual husband of Laurie Holmes, who had been kind of slating all this time for being at the top of the charts all the time. So it was, he was the one who was getting her up to the top. Took his course, just totally changed, because I learned Facebook from the very bottom up. I hadn't really learned it. I was just mucking about with it. So I learned it from the bottom up. I learned how to do the ads, and then everything just took off from there, and I started spending £500 a month, then 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. And I think last month, £2,000 spent on ads last month. And you just go, oh no, because the credit card has gone up and up and up. I'm going, oh shit, I can't pay the credit card. No. You have to wait 60 days or something. I'm going, oh no. The good thing about
I've been there, Steve.
Oh, I know you were talking about it a couple of months ago. Going, oh no, it's just a horrible feeling. But the air miles have racked up to about 200,000 air miles they've got on the credit card, which is brilliant. Yeah, so that's where we are just now. So Facebook advertising is so important. So important. You know that, Excel, you talk about it every week.
Yes. I mean, I definitely find the more that I'm mastering it, and the more that I test, and the more that I try, and the more that I learn, my ROI is going up and up and up and up and up. But now, so TikTok, you're so good at TikTok, but you said you're only using it for indie author stuff.
Yeah.
To give back.
Yeah, it's just to give back. It was just as a way of kind of paying it forward. Because there was loads of questions again. I said, because I was going down that route again, where I was going to do a course, because people were asking me. And it's always happened in the past. People say, how are you doing that? So I'll just go, here's the information for free. More people ask, and then you write a book on it. more people ask, then you do a course on it. I thought I'm not going down that route again. So I thought I'll just do the newsletter and just do a post a week. And it's just for indie authors just to say, this is what you can do. This is what you can achieve, because I do my monthly figures as well. And just do it every month and just say, this is how much I've earned. But it's not to be braggadocious. It's purely just to say, listen, I made £221 in 2021. Now I'm making £40,000 a month. Totally different. Anybody can do it, because I'm not a good writer. I'm a good storyteller, but I'm not a good writer. I don't write.
Well, according to your wife, you are.
I was going to say, I think probably a lot of people would disagree with you.
No, but it's good. It's a good story, but it's not necessarily
Yes.
good writing. If you know, it's not great prose. It's
Okay.
not beautiful words and kind of flowing and stuff, but it's a good story. And I think that's what sells. And a lot of the authors forget that as well. It's not just about the prose, it's about the story itself. And you can make a lot of money just from the story, even if you're not a brilliant writer.
Yeah. I love seeing authors like you share your numbers. You know that I also do mine, because it just shows you that you really can make a good living off writing.
You
And
can.
most people in the world do not know that. And when you actually show the receipts and you say, I've made this much money, it's just so motivating. Well,
Yeah.
it was for me. I would never be anywhere close to where I am without authors saying, look at how much money I've made this month.
Exactly.
On 12 books, on 20 books. It's just,
Yeah.
I love when I was kind of researching it, I'd been researching from 2016, and I always wanted the authors to say, I always wanted to ask the authors, how much are you making?
yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of people doing it.
I
and
know.
sharing it
You're not
back
allowed
then.
to do that.
I know, it's like, no, you shouldn't talk about your numbers. I'm going, you should. This is what motivates. When an indie author sees your numbers, or my numbers, your numbers, they see it, it automatically elevates their consciousness to a different level altogether. Saying I'm earning £2 a month, but I could earn, if I really stuck at it, if I was persistent, if I was consistent, this is what I could earn. And that's really what it's about, staying in the game, being persistent and being consistent with your writing. If you do that and you master the advertising and the marketing, you're golden. And I think in any genre, there's somebody making a lot of money, right? I always kind of go back to this story. It's somebody I met in Ireland last year. It was Christina. She's writing teddy porn.
Oh, yeah.
You probably know her, Janita.
Yes.
But it's teddy, literally, Melissa, it's
Teddy.
teddy
Teddy,
porn.
what is teddy? Is it
It's a
exactly what it sounds
shifter.
like?
It's a shifter
Teddy bear
kind of
smut.
romance.
Teddy bear shifter smut.
And because I was in Ireland talking to her in the pub, we were having a drink. I said, so what do you do? And she goes, oh, right, kind of teddy kind of porn. I'm going, what? She goes, teddy porn. I said, what
just
the
that?
hell is teddy porn?
Barman.
Exactly. Give me another round of drinks. So she's had too much, take her home. But so I downloaded the book and I kind of read it, and I thought, Jesus, people are making money from teddy porn. So that any niche you can make money in. And I think if you do the marketing right, you do the advertising right, you're golden. You could make a lot of money from this.
Wow.
That's
I'll have an idea.
inevitable. No matter what
You're going
you
to
do.
download it now as well. You're going to have to download it. So yeah, I think anybody could make money. It's just being persistent with your writing and really believing in yourself. If you believe you can write it, and once you do one book, you could write 100 books.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
it's that first one.
confidence comes with success. Like you can kind of like fake confidence, but to be truly confident in yourself and in your abilities, you have to have some successes and wins along the way. And the more you are persistent and the more books you write and the more you learn, you get those gains and then you get that confidence. And I think it's so important in growing your business.
So I actually have testimony to that, because when I was traditionally published back in 2013, whatever, I used to do the school circuit. So I used to go and talk at schools and I'd be like, you should write, it's such a good career. And I felt like such a phony because, I mean, trad money is not insane. So, I mean, I was nowhere near making a living and I was like, and anyway, I didn't do school talks for a long time. And then about 2 months ago, my daughter's school asked me to come in and talk to the grade 11 English class. And I was able to stand there and be like, you absolutely can make money by writing books. And with such conviction, because I was like, don't let anyone tell you you're not going to make money writing books, because you can. And it was I could feel the energy was a completely different.
Yeah.
So you're right. That confidence of success, it definitely plays a huge role.
Oh, it does.
I don't have any imposter
that.
syndrome. Yeah,
you must do a TikTok about that.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah. We'd like to take a quick break to tell you about our sponsor, Scribe Shadow.
If you're an indie author, you already know that publishing a book is only part of the journey. Reaching readers in new markets is where things get really exciting, but translations have traditionally been expensive, time-consuming, and honestly, a little overwhelming. Which is why JT and I both use Scribe Shadow. We originally started using it for our translations, and it quickly became one of the tools we can't live without. Personally, I started translating my books in May last year, and my income skyrocketed. Scribe Shadow saves us time, the workflow is simple, and best of all, it's affordable. It's made book translations accessible for indie authors, and in just minutes, you can translate your novels into multiple languages with high-quality results, which opens the door to exploring relationships with readers all around the world.
What we really appreciate is that Scribe Shadow understands indie authors because it was built by people from the indie publishing space. This isn't a massive faceless corporation. It's a small family-run team that understands the realities of self-publishing, tight budgets, and wearing 20 different hats at once. They also offer things like cover creation, audiobook translation, and a straightforward credit system that keeps the whole process simple and affordable. Importantly, you always keep full rights to your work, and your books are never used to train AI. So if you've been thinking about expanding into foreign markets, or you just want tools that genuinely make your author business easier to run, check out Scribe Shadow. It's become a really valuable part of our workflow, and we're genuinely happy to recommend it. If you'd like to try Scribe Shadow, we have a special code for you. You can get 30% discounts. It is PEN and Prosper 30. You can use that at checkout.
Perfect. And let's get back to our episode.
I think the other thing is, and I've spoke about this ad nauseum as well, is just to get everything right beforehand. So I kind of talk about the kind of 7 small yeses to get to the sale of the book. And it's before the Amazon ad, before it gets to Amazon, but we'll talk about that on the marketing side, is to get your cover right. You need to get really good covers. And this is where I would spend money, but I would 100% spend it on the covers. If you've got a beautiful cover, your cover does sell your book.
So
and
true.
blurb as well. The blurb is a massive thing, and we can talk about that. Got the magnetic blurb formula as well, just thinking about that.
Should we talk
So-
about it now quickly? Or is it
Yeah.
not a quick discussion?
So I've got a wee kind of slide, if that'll
Okay.
help.
Perfect.
So it's the anatomy of a magnetic blurb. And basically, you're starting with the hook here. And this is what we're really thinking about. Everybody kind of knows about the hook. So what we want to do with a blurb is just write about 150 words. You want it to be all above the fold. So that wee bit on kind of Amazon, we have to click on read more. You don't want that. You don't want the read more to come up. In my opinion, others will have a different opinion. You don't want that to come up. You just want it all within above the fold.
Okay.
So you're talking about, for me, it would be kind of the hook first. And that's what's the one big thing that kind of sells this kind of book or this series. And for me, it's one thing to read about witches. It's another thing to discover you are one. So you're talking about kind of curiosity there. That kind of reads it down. So that pulls them down. It's like a magnet. It pulls them down. So that's the magnet part of it. The attraction is where you're talking about the antagonist. That's the main person you're going to introduce. You don't want to introduce too many characters because a lot of people try and summarize the book in the book. Don't do that. You're just trying to sell your book. That's all you're trying to do. You don't want to summarize it. You don't want to tell too much. You're just trying to sell the book. So tell them about who's involved. So when a brutal attack nearly kills Glasgow law student David Hunter, he discovers the truth hidden in his blood. And it kind of goes on from there. So the pool part is the conflict. What is the kind of conflict? So his awakening of being a witch exposes him to a hidden world of powerful witches, clandestine government agencies, and a deadly race to control the legendary Akashic records. So that's the conflicts. What are the stakes? That's the next part of it, the force. And if the wrong hands gain access to that power, the balance between the two worlds, between the astral world and the real world, is going to collapse, or it could collapse. So you introduce the stakes without giving too much away. And the signal is where you tell your readers, these are the tropes that are going to be in this book. So this is a gripping supernatural thriller of ancient magic, secret societies, dangerous conspiracies, low-born romance. So you're introducing everything in there within 150 words. And that's 5 lines. And I think if you look at your blurb and kind of look at that kind of formula, you can make your blurb so much better. And I think that is what the magnetic blurb formula is about. Very quickly, that's what it's about.
That's great. Thank you. I think that's really, really good.
Stop that.
Okay, so we've got a great cover. We've got a blurb. What's next?
Okay, so you've got the blurb, and then obviously you've got to get the pricing right as well from there as well. A lot of kind of first-time authors, they're pricing their ebooks at $4.99. They've not got any reviews. They're a brand new author, and they're pricing the books at $4.99. Why? Why would anybody take a chance on you at $4.99 when you can get kind of ebooks for 99 cents? I would never ever give it away for free. Never ever give it away for free. You get the freebie seekers and they'll just sit in the Kindle forever. At least 99 cents just to entice the reader in to leave a review. So you can advertise your first book, even if you've only got one book in the series, advertise to it, but know on the understanding that you're advertising for reviews. You're not advertising for profit.
Yes.
Two totally different ways of kind of looking at things in the very beginning. So you want your reviews for social proof. Social proof is huge for this as well. And I'd say once you get over 100 reviews and a second book out, then you start advertising for profit. But advertise for the reviews first to get the 100 reviews. That's what I would say. 99 cents or $1.99, depending on how big your book is as well. So that'll be the next thing after that. And then I would be looking at getting your next book out. As soon as you finish the first book, start writing your second book. If you're writing a series, but I'm presuming most people are writing in series now.
I mean,
I would hope so.
I assume so too, because otherwise it's just so difficult to get an ROI on your ad spend, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some people can do it, but very difficult to do. And this is where the advertising comes in and the read-through rate comes in. But knowing your numbers as well is going to be huge.
Yes, and when you get a bit further down the line, knowing your LTV or lifetime value. What does LTV stand for? Lifetime value. Yes.
Lifetime
Of the
value, yeah.
customer. Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
LTV. Delport,
No,
it's probably the most important number
Yeah.
you have when you are doing advertising, because then you know how much you're allowed to spend per click. Because once you've tested an ad and you know what the conversion rate is, then you need to look at the CPC and make sure that what you're paying to get that that person buying that first book, whether you're going to make a profit or a loss. So I know if Blood Magic Book 1, I have to get a new reader for $8 or less, because if it's more than that, I will lose money on that sale.
And that's all to do with your kind of read-through rate as well, Melissa. So when you look at your read-through rate from book 1 to book 2, then 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, etc., that's how you calculate your lifetime value of reader and how much it costs you to get the first kind of reader. And then if you've got 8 books in a series, if there's still a 20-30% read-through rate from book 8 to book 1, then you'll know exactly how much you're going to make for the lifetime value of one customer. So you can spend what Jenny is saying there, $8, and still make a profit if your lifetime value is $9. If that makes sense.
Okay, gotcha. Yes.
You're just glancing over there, going, I don't.
No. I'm thinking in my head, I hope he doesn't ask me what my read-through rate.
Well,
Do you know it? No, I'm going to ask you now. What's your read-through rate?
but don't worry, Delport, because people
don't
always get
know it.
nervous when we speak about read-through rates, because it's hard to calculate and it changes all the time. But all you have to do, seriously, is download your lifetime KDP report, put it into Claude, and say, what is my read-through rate?
Yeah.
Claude's gonna be working hard this afternoon.
Yeah, it's brilliant for that. It really is brilliant.
And you can even ask Claude to work out your LTV from that.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're going to be sitting with read-through rate times this minus this. Right. Let Claude do it for you.
Do the work. Why am I hustling you? Okay. Okay. Right. So we've got cover, blurb, price.
Steve, what do you price your novellas at?
Mine's are for £1.99 or $2.99 in the US. And that, again, they were priced low just to get the reviews in. But I think the first book has had 7,500 reviews now. So I've just left it at $2.99, and the whole series is $2.99.
Oh, okay.
So every book in the series in all the series, $2.99.
It's a really affordable price point.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Great. And your box set?
The box set is only $4.99, so that's priced to entice as well. But because of the box set and the Kindle reads that you're going to get from that, that's a no-brainer as well, just to kind of price that. Not too low, but still low to entice the readers in. And on Audible, it just kills it as well. Once you get on Audible, it's absolutely amazing.
Would you consider putting that box set up to $9.99? Because most box sets are mostly read in KU anyway, so you're mostly looking for that KU reader. But if you can get more sales at $9.99, you might be able to pay more per click on advertising.
Yeah, well, I don't really advertise the box set until I was talking to Blake Hudson, who you had on a couple of weeks ago. So I'd not really started advertising, but now he was talking about kind of $9.99 as well. So I'm probably going to do that. soon as
How many are in your box set? How many per box set? Or do you put your whole series in there?
For the first series, there's only 8 books in, so I put the whole series in there. The second series is ongoing, so I'll do in batches of 7. Originally, it was only going to be 7, but then I'll just continue it. Oh, sorry, that was the third series. But the second series is batches of 4 because they're thicker books. They're about 50,000 words each, so batches of 4 in the box sets. But yeah, I'll start advertising them as well. I think that could be a kind of big changer, game changer as well when they're advertised.
I think it's also great that that first box set of yours is a complete series, because as soon as you say complete series with a box set, people just love it. And I
Yeah, it's a
honestly
different
don't
type of reader.
think, yeah, I don't think $9.99 is too much to ask for that.
Yeah, I know, it was just to entice them in. I think I've had it up at $9.99, but I never really tested it.
But just remember,
after
it's
that.
it's a KU subscriber that you're after.
Yeah,
So it actually looks like more value if they can read a $9.99 box set in Kindle.
that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Well, it's always worth testing. I might be completely wrong, and then, don't blame me.
Well, come back and you'll get that.
Is Claude helping you with your list, or is it just giving you more work?
It was, I have to be really honest here, really honest, and just say for the past 3-4 weeks, I've been feeling really, really overwhelmed. Everything that I'm doing, I mean, literally, I'm going, "Oh, shit, I've got to do this, I've got to do translations, I've got to get narrators for the translations, I've got to kind of do the ads, I've got to create more ads." There's just so much. And there's all these open loops in my head that I wasn't resolving. But again, I sat down with Claude and said, "Listen, I'm feeling really overwhelmed. You need to kind of talk to me as a coach, ask me everything that I do in my business, tell me everything that I can hand off to other people, and close these open loops that I've got in my brain just now."
Yeah.
Because I'm just really getting stressed out, and it's just stressed me out so much. So it's only been the last couple of days that I've got, I know where I'm going again.
Okay, good.
So, because there's so much to do, and a lot of people think authors, you write a book, you're skipping through the meadows after you write a book, and everything's hunky dory. But there's so much to do after that. It's unbelievable.
All
to
the
just
time.
realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is all the time. It's constant.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think you need to have a reset every now and again.
Yeah, absolutely. We battle overwhelm all the time. We're always talking about it. Every now and then you feel like you're not overwhelmed. Like, yes, now I've done this. Like, I've won this. I know how to not be overwhelmed in my author business. And then 2 weeks later, again, it's like my to-do list is completely out of control, even with Claude. And someone made a good point at the Irish conference. They said, Claude's amazing and it can help you knock so much off your to-do list, but it can also add a lot of stuff, because
Yes.
now you can do so much more, and it's just like amplifies everything. But that includes your to-do list in some ways. And you can also waste a lot of time with Claude, because it's like a rabbit hole. You're like, oh, let's do this. Let's upload these million things that I don't have to do by hand because Claude can do it. But did you really have to do that? And it's just like
Probably
being
not.
balanced, right? Probably not.
Well, I'm
I've added a
so into it as well because of the AI stuff, and I thought this is where I'm going to go next. I think I'm going to do the AI filmmaking.
Oh, wow.
Go into the filmmaking, and I thought I'm straying away. I've not written for 6 weeks. I need to get back to writing.
Oh, gosh.
But it does, just like you said, you need to, once you get into, you go, this is amazing, this is brilliant,
Yeah.
and it is,
Yeah,
and
it's
I think that's the way it's
exciting.
going to go. That's going to be the next big thing. I can see a time in a couple of years' time where alongside your audiobook and your Kindle book, there's going to be a film of you on Amazon. They're going to take over the rights. So where Amazon go in and they'll make a kind of vertical movie of your book and people can buy it. I think that's where it's going to go.
Yeah, I think that's a good prediction for sure. Steve, do you know, I think it's called Creator Wood.
I spoke to him. Yeah, I was on the phone with him last week,
really?
Michael. Yeah, we had a brilliant meeting because I was talking about doing the vertical, making vertical movies, and I think that's where things are going. And that was after a meeting in London with kind of Tony and Steve and Andy Briggs and people like that. I thought, this is just brilliant. It's just the way I'm kind of heading. But I spoke to Michael, and he's a really smart guy. And I said, I don't want to do it because I want to make the movies myself. And we're talking about making movies anyway with kind of Netflix or something. That's kind of in the works as well.
Yes, of course.
Probably in the future. But with the AI kind of verticals, I think it's just absolutely amazing what you can do.
So you want to do it yourself?
Yeah, I want to do it myself.
Yeah, it looks like such a fun thing to do.
It is. But with the advertising as well.
Yeah.
So can I show you a couple of ads? I'm going to show you a couple of ads that I'm running just now. So this is an ad I made up. It took me about 3-4 hours to kind of organize, but it's 41 seconds. And this is the main character from the book talking about the books, The Witches of Scotland.
I'm David Hunter from Glasgow. You'll find me in the pages of The Witches of Scotland. Years ago, I was a law student. Find my mates, farming my way out of trouble. I had no idea what was really going on. There's a media empire, news, the films, the algorithms. How do we write and manage collective memory? the Akashic records, the blueprint of every soul that's ever lived, and someone's trying to break. Jessica Campbell and I, they would queue up with 49 in Scotland. Welcome to the Witches of Scotland.
Jeez, that's incredible.
So that's just me.
What did you make that in?
It's mucking about. There's loads of different things. But there's another one here. I think you'll really love this as well. What's this one? This is brilliant.
That's so cool.
Oh, that's it.
If anyone interrupts me before I finish this chapter, I will hex them.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Wee things like that and just using it for adverts. And that's where I think AI could really, really help.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine you've got the characters in your book and they're actually introducing your book for you
To the people,
in the
yeah.
ad. Do you know what I mean?
So is this a special program that you're using?
So you, again, use ChatGPT at the beginning or Nano Banana just to get the characters.
Yes.
There's a flow you go through. So you have to get the characters right because you have to be consistent because in AI
Yes.
just now, they're just not consistent at all across kind of, so you need a consistent character. So you get all these kind of angles where the main person is shot from, and then you kind of put it into a storyboard. You need to write a storyboard, then you write a script. And again, you can do in Claude and ChatGPT. Then there's something called Higgsfield, which is an aggregator of Cinema Studio 3.5 and CDANS 2.0. And you give that the script and the direction and the kind of emotions of the characters and stuff like that as well. Put it all together. Then you use CapCut to put it together as well as one kind of movie. Different way to do it. And I just think, but you do get a lot of kind of comeback on the AI videos, just saying, stop, this is terrible, it's kind of killing the world. So much of that is it's really bad just now. Authors are getting it just now for not, I don't know. It's weird the way it's going on. It's just people resistant to change.
Yes. I was getting a lot of AI heat for some of the Facebook ads, just static ads that I had on Instagram. And I realized I had not read the room on Instagram. You should not go anywhere near Insta with AI images, even though they weren't. I mean, actually, the ones that Caroline did were pretty much blatantly AI. So I think that was more the problem. But if you are careful about it and you make a beautiful ad, I don't think anyone at the moment can tell the difference.
Really can't.
Yeah.
I think people are cloning themselves as well. Susie Quinn, Susie Quinn, she kind of done a clone of herself. She was talking down in London. She said she cloned herself and people couldn't tell the difference between her and a clone. That's how good it's becoming just now. I mean, this could be up the productivity and then you get stressed about that being so productive. So, yeah, but it's amazing. And I love it and embrace it. But I understand people's concerns.
Steve, with those ads, what are you doing with them? Are you literally running them on Facebook or TikTok? What are you doing with them?
So I put them on social media. So this is a good strategy for doing any ad. What we're doing, I call it kind of the gladiator method. I kind of spoke about this in Ireland. So this is the gladiator method. And I'll kind of share this kind of stuff out for your kind of viewers as well if they're interested. So you put it into the arena. Just say, for example, Melissa, you do your story, or Janita, you do kind of telling a story. You put it on social media first, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, wherever it is, and see how well it does. So that's the arena that you're putting it into. And it's just sharing and marketing at the same time. You're sharing, but you're marketing and telling people your story. Now, if that story and that video that you do really, really well, and it gets loads of comments, and it gets loads of shares, and you're kind of responding to the comments every day or something, then you can take that to another level. So this is called the verdict phase, phase 2. So you wait on the social media comments and everything that comes with that and see if there's any social proof around it. Now, if it does really, really well, you turn that organic post into an ad. So all ads that you do can be tested organically first. So you could test every single ad that you have just by putting on social media and seeing how well it does. So your video, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, if you want. And if it does well on one of them, you probably know it's going to do well as an ad.
Yeah.
So you share it as an ad as well. And you put money behind it and just get it out there. And you tested it organically first. So you keep the champions and you just get rid of all the other ones as well. So that's the gladiator method of testing ads. And you can test this with your image ads. You can test it with videos is better because people respond better to videos. They'll kind of comment on it more. They'll kind of watch it more as well. So you get a lot more feedback on videos. With image ads, not so much, but you can still test them, but it's just not, it doesn't work as well as the videos. So that's the kind of gladiator method of testing the ads, which is a brilliant way to test any ad at all, but especially video ads. And I think video ads are brilliant because of the engagement. And that's what we're looking for. And Melissa, you're talking about your page as well with video ads. And that brings people to your page. And it also gets people to like and follow you on your page as well. So you're growing a following as well as advertising your product. But at the same time, you've got the added benefit of growing a community and people getting to know you more as well. So the more people that see your face and you're talking and you're being yourself, being natural, being kind of funny, just like both of you are as well, that builds up the community and that creates that connection that you've got.
Yes.
This is why videos are so good. Even if you don't want to show your face, there's another type of video. Are we going into this just now?
Yeah, let's go into it. I just wanted
go
to
into
say I love this gladiator strategy.
I know.
The first time I heard about it was at your talk in Ireland, Steve. And I was like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't think about this. Test your stuff organically before putting money behind it. Anyway, I've been doing quite a lot of learning about Facebook ads through different people not in the indie author industry.
Yeah.
And this comes up quite a lot. And I'm like, yes, it makes so much sense. So that's definitely part of my strategy going forward for paid ads, before paid ads.
But it does take longer because you have to wait maybe a week or so. But if you can do loads of them, just post a day or 2 videos a day or something, just put them out there and you just leave it. You don't kind of constantly look, you just leave it and see what one does well or see what ones do well. Then you go, I can use that as an ad. But the beautiful thing about it as well is you can use that organic post as an ad. So you create an ad from your post and do that. So you keep all the social proof because social proof is really good because what you've done with social proof is you've warmed up your audience. You've warmed up a cold audience before you even get to speak a word. Absolutely. Because they see 100 people have commented on this, 2,500 people have liked it, and say 150 people have shared it or something. That is social proof. So you've warmed up your audience even before you've said a word. So that's a brilliant thing for doing that as well.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
So it's really good from that point of view, if that makes sense.
So you just share the video on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and your TikTok page.
Yeah.
You just share it. Okay.
Just share it as normal, just like you would do an organic post, just a normal post.
I'd say that quantity trumps, well, it doesn't trump quality, but I think quantity is very important at this stage because you really do need to put out a lot of different ideas, a lot of different hooks to be able to have enough to see a clear winner.
Yeah, you're going to have to do quite a few. But if you've got a strategy whereby you're posting every day, or you could post every day if you wanted to, twice a day or something, and just test it. But then if you do 30 posts or 30 videos, you've got content for 1 year.
Yeah.
That's what you do is you take those 30 videos and just repost them every 30 days. And you've got content for a year. Some of them might take off other times when the algorithms have changed as well. So post it again. Or do another video of the same story and post that one. Yeah. If that makes sense. So you don't need to constantly think about different content because you've got it already on those previous 30 posts.
Yeah. So think of it as getting the pain with over up front, and then you've got so much to work with later.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
And I think I grew my Facebook page back in the day from 2013 up to 3 million because I wrote my own quotes. Because I was seeing everybody else, they were sharing quotes from kind of Albert Einstein and stuff. And I thought, I'm going to write my own quotes. So I sat down and I wrote 300 quotes. First of all, they're kind of personal development. And I used all those quotes on different images and I've just repurposed them over and over for the last 15 years. I've been using the same quotes. And if you type into Google just now, Stephen Aitchison quotes, they're all over the place. Just because of that. Yeah, you do the same with this as well. That's how I grew the page. And you do the same with this as well. You just repurpose everything that you do.
I was doing that on Substack, remember, JT? And it was growing so nasty. And then I repurposed them for Instagram on like a background image. And they never really did very well. So I got over it very quickly.
Yeah.
And I didn't write the quotes. I got chat to write the quotes. But they were very profound.
Yeah, but I mean, you could try it again, not necessarily with, because those quotes were to help other authors, right? It isn't really your target, but you can take quotes from your book. I mean, I used to do that in the old days when I first started sharing stuff on Facebook. I used to take my favorite quotes out of the book, put on a nice background. I used to love doing that.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I loved doing that as well. Yeah.
Okay, so after the gladiator method, what are we getting into now?
So I would kind of talk about, so we talked about hook, story, close. So we spoke about this already, the hook, the story, and the kind of close. And this is one of the ads I've done. I know I shared this in kind of Ireland as well, but one of the ads I've done has been seen 8 million times. It's got 1,500 shares and 3,000 comments. And that was the one where it said it took me 27 years to write this book. So I started that ad first started in 22, but I really started as a Facebook ad in 23. And I'm still advertising that video to this day in Australia, Canada, UK, and USA, and it still makes money.
Wow.
So that I've spent £70,000 on just that one video to different countries, but I've got over £200,000 it is now from that video.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So
and did you film it vertical, you said?
Yeah, just vertical. I just kind of done it on my phone. So again, it's just about being natural. The main one I'd done, it was 2 minutes long. I wouldn't do that now. I would just cut it right back down to about 40, 50 seconds. And I could have done that story in 40, 50 seconds. Looking back on it, but I've done other ones where I talk about my wife in a cold bath kind of story as well. And that's had the same kind of reaction as well. So it's brilliant kind of from that point of view. And just use your phone. Use what you've got available. And the more natural it looks, the better. So if it's more polished and produced, it doesn't do as well. That's the kind of hook, story, close method as well. And again, what you do, you make these videos, kind of post them on your social media organically, gladiator method, pick out the winners, advertise to the winners. And then you just do it to the USA if you're going to advertise it, because that's the biggest number to hit. And that's you're going to be your main audience anyway. If it works in the USA, roll it out to UK, Australia, and Canada. Keep an eye on the numbers, although the numbers are not technically brilliant with the kind of Amazon attribution because they're a pain in the arse. Really, just for a data company, you'd think they would have much better data in the back end. Drives me nuts.
It drives me up the wall.
Yeah, but if you do well in Amazon attribution, you can almost double it or times it by 1.5 by what it really is doing. So yeah, keep an eye on the Amazon attribution if you're into that. I kind of stopped it for a while, the Amazon attribution. And then I thought, no, something's better than nothing. So I went back to the Amazon attribution. Yeah, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the numbers. And you can use this for over and over and over again. And just roll it out to all the different countries once you've got a winner. But once you find a winner, if I found 10 winners like this, that would be £2 million.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once you find a winner, you just kind of roll with it and roll with it.
Double down, scale fast.
Definitely.
See, sorry, can I ask you a question? You say when you have an organic post and then you make it into an ad, right? I know there are different ways of doing it. Obviously, people don't recommend boosting content, but I know you can go into your ads manager dashboard and then find your organic stuff and then turn that into an ad that way. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. So basically what you're doing, you're just creating an ad just as normal, and it tells you where to download the media. It says, can I download this media or create it from a post? And that's what you do. You just click on the drop down and it shows all your kind of posts on your Facebook author page. And then you click on
I think I've seen that, yes.
Yeah, it's good. And it asks you as well if you want to keep the social kind of proof or all the proof in that, and you just say yes. That's in a depends how you do it, but you get to keep all the social proof, and that's the whole point of doing it this way as well, because you get to keep that social proof.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Sorry, I interrupted you. You're just...
No, not at all. Not at all. Right, so the other one I was going to talk about is...
Before we go, we'd like to say a huge thank you to our paid sponsor, Vellum, the book formatting software that we could not live without. If you would like to try Vellum and let them know that we sent you, please visit tryvellum.com/pen and prosper.